Do you find yourself looking for the perfect bottle of wine for your Thanksgiving spread, but you're not sure where to begin? This is a common question that I have been getting from so many of you, and exactly what we are going to talk about today on Tasty Tidbits with Tiff. My name is Tiffany, and I am so excited you're here. As you hop on, drop a hi in the comments and where you are watching from. For those of us joining for the replay, just add in #replay. My name is Tiffany, and I help busy millennials who feel overwhelmed in the kitchen learn new skills to create quick, healthy recipes with wine pairings. Follow me on social media for daily tips, tricks, recipes, and inspiration. And be sure to set that alarm for 1 o'clock Central every Wednesday, where I go live right here for Tasty Tidbits with Tiff, filled with food and fun. In today's video, we are going to answer the question that so many of you are having: what wine should I pair with my Thanksgiving meal? But that's not all. I also have a super simple strategy to help you create the perfect beverage pairing to elevate your meals in the days to come. So be sure to stick around until the end. If you're ready to get started with that right away, drop wine in the comments and I will hook you up with my free basic food and wine pairing guide to elevate your taste buds while saving you time and energy creating that perfect pairing. Now, before we get started, I want to hear from you. What is on your Thanksgiving meal plan right now? Drop it in the comments. I look forward to reading these and sharing some personal recommendations as we get into the holiday weekend. So, first step is to choose a sparkling wine that is versatile. Now, whether you are hosting, which this is going to make more sense for those of you that are hosting, but even if you're not, it's important to have a sparkling wine. And if you're not hosting, this also makes the perfect hostess gift. And you can get sparkling wines super affordable at your local liquor store. You want to choose a sparkling wine as a starter for a couple different reasons. First of all, sweet sparkling wine is a fun way to start any holiday season. It's light, it's festive, and it's fun. But also, many of you probably find yourself in a room with people that you haven't seen for a while, maybe not even since the last holiday season. And we all know a little bit of liquid courage can go a long way. So a sweet sparkling wine is going to do just that. Now, keep in mind, stemware is important. With a sparkling wine, you want to have a champagne flute or some type of flute. This is going to help with the bubbles going up the glass, accent those aromatics of the sparkling wine, and enhance the flavor. So make sure that you have those stem or stemless flutes ready to go with that bottle of sparkling wine. Now, before we jump into some specifics on pairings with your actual meal, I want to know, are you team red or team white? Drop your vote in the comments. Now, when it comes to Thanksgiving, you can actually go with either one or both if you're feeling adventurous. So most people think of white wines because Thanksgiving, you usually have turkey or chicken. White meat usually goes with white wine. However, you need to look at the full spread, and that is going to influence if a white wine is your best option or if a red wine is going to be the better option. When it comes to choosing that white wine for your Thanksgiving meal, you want something that is simple yet versatile. So two of your best options are going to be a Riesling or a Sauvignon Blanc. Now, Rieslings can come sweet or dry, which makes them extra versatile, but they also have a variety of flavors going on in a glass of Riesling. So typically that Riesling is going to be a little fruity, a little floral, and very clean and crisp. This is perfect to go with that roasted turkey. Plus, it's going to match the sweetness of your sweet potatoes and an herb-filled stuffing. Now, if you find yourself doing garlic mashed potatoes instead of sweet potatoes, a Sauvignon Blanc is going to be the better option. Now, comparing the two, Sauvignon Blanc typically has more citrus notes compared to a Riesling, and it's a little bit more acidic and less sweet, making it the perfect option to go with the garlic mashed potatoes and more of your savory options and starches compared to that Riesling, which is on the sweeter side. Now, when it comes to red wines, you want to have a light-bodied red wine to go along with your full meal. And yes, red wines can go with turkey. It's not exclusive to white wines. White wine with white meat is not set in stone. It can be broken. So your best options for a red wine are going to be either a Zinfandel or a Pinot Noir. Again, you want a light-bodied red wine that is going to match the flavors in your Thanksgiving spread without overpowering any of them. So a Zinfandel is typically very jammy, very fruity, with just a hint of peppery spice. And this is perfect to go along with your roasted turkey, some savory butternut squash, herb stuffing, and green bean casserole. Now, Pinot Noir is also going to be fruity, but it's not going to have as much of those peppery notes as a Zinfandel. Instead, Pinot Noirs are typically very earthy. So if you have mushroom dishes, Pinot Noir is going to be your better option, as well as if you find yourself with more roasted veggies or baked veggies. Pinot Noir is the best option to go with those hearty, savory vegetable dishes. Now, before we dive into dessert, I want to know, what is your favorite holiday pie? Drop it in the comments. Now, most common, we find ourselves enjoying pumpkin pie, pecan pie, or apple pie. With these fall flavors, a Viognier is going to be your best option. It is going to be a little floral, a little fruity, and match all the sweetness of those holiday pie flavors. But just because it's a holiday doesn't mean you have to have dessert. Sometimes we would rather fill ourselves up on the protein and veggies and skip the dessert. And this is where a port style wine is going to be the best option to replace the dessert, but still satisfy that sweet tooth craving. This is also an excellent alternative to your non-coffee drinkers that want something sweet after that meal. So a ruby port is going to be very fruity, hints of chocolate, and a thick syrup-like texture, making it the perfect dessert substitute. Now, let's keep this momentum going by helping you create the perfect wine pairings for your future meals after the holiday weekend. First one, general rule, red with red, white with white. But as we discussed, this isn't always the case. Red wine typically pairs best with red meat. White wine typically pairs best with white meat, but it's not always the case. Leads us to tip number 2, which is to consider those sides and seasonings. As we learned, that first rule can be broken. You want to look at those sides and seasonings that you are serving with your main course to determine, is a red truly the best option, or is a white the better option? And number 3, sweet likes heat. When you find yourself enjoying spicy dishes such as Mexican, Asian, Indian, and Thai food, a sweet wine is going to cut back on the spiciness of the food and accent some of the other flavors, making that spicy food more bearable. But if you're looking to accent the spice, then grab yourself a dry wine instead. But remember, I warned you. Now, to keep this going, to learn even more, drop wine in the comments. I will hook you up with my free basic food and wine pairing guide so you can elevate your taste buds at every meal.